Hello, everyone. This is Charles in Chicago. It's been a while since I've been with you. Maybe you can tell by my voice that I'm not really doing all that well personally. I have a lot of personal problems, they're interior problems that I'm dealing with, and God has given me some other work to deal with when I'm able to function properly. Um, there's two things I want to quickly bring to your attention. One thing is that I'm going to use this analogy of a snowball moving downhill and how it grows bigger and gathers momentum. And our church is really falling to pieces. There's so much going on here. There are um, cardinals, bishops, priests, theologians, philosophers beginning to speak out in a very major kind of way. And our church has fallen to pieces. It's really what's going on. Oh, Lord, help us. I don't know how much longer or how often I can. I'll be on this channel to talk to you. What you need to do is to pay attention to what's going on, to stay informed. That's the first thing you need to do. Okay. Now, I've been um, I've been challenged in a way by another person that says that the material that I'm putting out on the internet is is like anti-Catholic. All right, so I did some research about this, and this specifically has to do with a site. Get it up here. It's LifeSite, lifesitenews.com. All right. Now, these are, they were telling me that these people are not Catholic people, that they're, like the enemy. Um, but actually, I found out that um, this question was asked to their Facebook page. And I'm absolutely positive, or else I wouldn't tell you this, that all these people on the staff of LifeSite News are good Catholic people. They're traditional people. They believe in certainly, what our church taught us prior to the papacy of Pope Francis. All right. So, this is lifesitenews.com. All right. So, you need to use this site. And, you can go to traditional Catholic or mainstream news sites of Catholicism, and they're going to have like pretty much the same news, except they'll have their own um, their own understanding of what's going on. But what it's going to show you is that there's a war going on here. I mean, a very intense war that's going on. And it's only going to get more and more difficult for all of us. We need to recognize this. You can't sweep it under the carpet. You can't stick it in the closet and close the door. The best way to deal with it is to recognize it and to deal with it directly, whether we like it or not. And as difficult as it is, making believe that none of this stuff is going on is just, I mean, they're actually people on the internet who just keep on saying fake news, fake news, fake news, I mean, they're in denial, and in the long run, they're going to pay dearly for this. This is, I believe, to be the final sifting of souls that will come about. And people are going to be tested. We're all being tested. I mean, I'm being tested on a very personal level. And if you're not at this moment, you certainly will be. No one, this is going to happen to every human being. All right, so there are other sites. Let me see here what I can help you with here. Um, well, this is a good site too. All right, this is Catholic Herald dot. What is this? Catholic Herald dot co dot uk. All right. What is going on here? Just more of the same. Um, we have okay. That's Catholic Herald dot co dot uk. All right, and this is a good site too. I mean, for traditional Catholics, okay? Other people are going to say this is just a bunch of garbage and that, we're lying. All right, you have to realize that Pope Francis, he says a lot of good things. I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves about this. But, the way he introduces error is really frightening, and a lot of people, I mean, some of what he says, people welcome because, we all want an easier way. There's no easy way in Catholicism. Catholicism, to live being a good, solid Catholic person, is a very difficult road. And it's something that we work out. We need to work at all our lives. Anyway, this site here is Crux, Crux, now, NOW.com. And let's see here. Let me bring up something else here. If I can get it here. Oh, this is the Wanderer. The Catholic World Report. I particularly like this because Dr. Fesser, who's a very outspoken Catholic philosopher, they carry a lot of his things here, and there's been this ongoing discussion between him and some other philosophers about this whole thing. Can you change doctrine? Can doctrine be changed? Oh boy, And then, I think the last thing I posted had to do with can you change dogma? It's just really, boy, it's something else. Anyway, there's a priest that's like speaking up. So what are they doing? All right. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops strongly encouraged me to resign. This is a priest, because he's speaking up, and you got to realize that the remnant church is in the minority here. So we're going to get really pounded is what we're going to end up, what's going to happen here. I want to take you to one other place here. I always feel like I'm always blabbing longer than I should. Let me see here. I need to, here. Okay, here, let me bring this up for you. All right, now this site is from a man who was very much involved with the dark side of life, and his story is here. Although I've never read all of it, I've read some of it. It's pretty intense. Um, anyway, he went through a conversion and a rescue, and God gave him a job. All right. Now his job is to collect different messages that he feels through prayer that God is really actually talking to these people. All right, these are people from all around the world. Um, Valeria Copani, Pedro Regas, which those messages are actually approved by a bishop. Eduardo Federi, okay, Marco Ferrari. Um, then there are messages from sites called Do What He Tells You, Our Lady of Zorro, um, and other ones here. All right, so if you're interested in reading prophecy, because I'm gonna tell you what I believe, and I believe all this is actually, you know, once you read these things over a period of time, it's like you read them, and then in the near future, this is like what is going on. All right, so and anyway, here I'm going to give you this, and I have to give you two other sites. All right. So this site is called After AFTER the THE Warning WARNING, like all one word, no hyphens or anything .com. All right. The next site I'm going to give you need to go to. Okay, here we are. Oh, I've been so busy I haven't gotten back to this site. All right, I'm going to give you two other sites that these things have played out in my life. One time God said, He said, I'm going to send you pestilence, you know, and consider it a blessing. Well, He said, I'm going to send some of you pestilence, and believe it or not, it was like I don't know, it wasn't more than a day that I would wake up in bed in the middle of the night and start scratching, and as it ended up, my bed became infested with bed bugs. And you say, it really doesn't have anything to do with cleanliness. Anybody can get bed bugs. It took me a while to realize what was going on. Anything, these bites would burn and itch to where I was literally scratching my skin off of my body. But actually, I did all this, went on for like a month. I have scars all up and down my legs and on my arms, where, I had blood on my sheets and everything. Um, but I mean, there was a series of events that happened where, they, we were able to get rid of these things, but it like took a month. And, I did pretty well with it. Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, you talk about, but anyway, that's one of the things that happened through the messages on this particular site. I'm talking way longer than I planned on. All right, so now this woman also has a YouTube site. All right, and I believe, that was just one of the things. I could tell you other stories about, but that's one of the more intense sort of ones. But the other ones are, were just right on also. But anyway, here. So she's a Christian woman. All right. She's not a Catholic woman. And the next sign I'm going to give you is not a Catholic woman, but a Christian woman. And I've communicated with these people Um, not that you can tell a lot about someone over email, but I can tell more about them, about what they're posting and the reality of it coming true in life, next week or whatever. Anyway, her name is, these are two, in the Christian prophecy world, these are two, extremely highly regarded women. Her name is Glenda Lomax. Now, Glenda's site is Wings, Wings, of prophecy, Prophecey, .blogspot.com. I listen to her on YouTube. She gives some good teachings. She's good, solid, a good, solid lover of Christ. All right, so the other one I want to give you, um, oh, oh boy, um, I'm trying to remember this woman's name. Oh Lord, I need some help at the moment. Um, this is when did? Oh, this is Julie. This is her name is Julie Wedbee, Wedbee. She had an amazing story about how God called her from Florida with her family to leave everything and just travel. The family didn't even know where they were going. They were just headed north. And every time, they would stop and go, Lord, what's next here? Bingo. There was God right there for her. Anyway, excuse me 1 minute, please. Um, God had her travel to north. Let me think about this here. Northwest North Carolina. Northwest North Carolina. All right, in the mountains in Northwest North Carolina, and what God said was you're going to build me um, a refuge, or you could say a sanctuary. Right? What this sanctuary? Now there are also Catholic sanctuaries. I know this for sure. All right, I've talked with people who have gone to them. In fact, just across the lake, just across the lake from Chicago, Lake Michigan, there's one in Michigan. Excuse me a minute, please. Another one of my bad habits, smoking. And there's one at Holy Love Ministries outside of Cleveland. There's one in Arkansas. Um, what is her name, Lord? Mother, who's the woman who started EWTV, EWNTV? Um, there's one there. And anyway, so Julie and her family traveled, and they've been building this sanctuary. Now what this sanctuary is all about is um, there will there will be some people. I believe. This is not only a Catholic belief, because we have been told this in Catholic prophecy, but also in Christian prophecy. And, maybe not all Christians are going to believe this, but, I mean, a lot do. I mean, let me go down here. Let's see here. All right, she's had over 3 million page views. So, I mean, that's not like 3 million different people, but that's, a lot of people come here. A lot of people come there. A lot of people come to her. She's also on YouTube. It's called Behold I Come. And the site here is I am calling you now. All one word. I am calling you now.blogspot.com. So, Julie was called here. Oh, this is a couple of years ago. And she's been, kind of leads her up into up into. I think it's a valley in between mountains, right? And what's going to happen here is what God is telling all of us is that there will come a time when now the rapture, um, maybe some are going to be raptured up, okay? There will be others that will have to stay here and suffer because of their own sins. And there'll be some of us that'll stay here long enough to help others. But then there's going to be, maybe some of those people are actually going to be called to go to these sanctuaries, these refuges, right? So these places will be like have a dome of protection over them. All right, people are going to live. They're going to live in a very basic sort of way. We're going to plant food. We're going to clean the house. We're going to spend a lot of time praying. You get water from a well. You sort of have to like think about living in these places as they did maybe in the early 1800s. This is the kind of place it'll be. There's not going to be any electricity or any plumbing, so to speak. So, and these places will be guarded by angels, so that when the worst of what is going to happen, which is really terrifying. It's like, my God, it's so terrifying. But God is going to have his day of justice with the people who just won't convert. There are so many terrible things that are going to happen. The people in the refuges will have their have protection, and this will be for about a period of what the Bible says is 3.5 years. Now, whether it's going to be actually that long or not, we don't really know, because prayer has a lot to do with timing and how intense things are. There are some things that are not going to happen because we prayed enough and God has said, all right, I'll eliminate this part of it. But all this is going to be very intense. All right, so anyway, Julie is doing this now. How far along she is, I don't know. I haven't talked to her in email for a little bit, so she's still, she's still working. I'm sure her and her family are working. You know, I just love people with really beautiful voices. I was listening to a song on YouTube. And I just thought this man's voice is, you know, I mean, it's not going to win any awards or anything, but it's like in a very deep way, it really touched me spiritually. All right, so I think I'm done talking your ears out here. Um, just give me a minute here to gather my thoughts here. And I told you, Julie's, you know. So, all right, so the whole idea of this, me talking on this particular video, is to get you to focus on Catholic news, to get you to focus on Catholic and Christian prophecy. All right, God will talk to you through here. Just give him a chance. Don't say, "Oh, that's a bunch of garbage," you know, because you're just gonna make things harder for yourself, and you don't want to do that. All right, give God the chance. Now, maybe he won't talk to you. You know, maybe you'll have to struggle with it, but please don't block it out like immediately. We all think we know the truth. You know, the truth of this, the truth of that. We all have error, all right? We all believe things that aren't true. We all have problems in this area. So, but all this that I've told you is really very important. I think, all right? I think, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And I'm about to. Oh, I've been talking, my goodness, 26 minutes. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you all go, and I really don't know the next time I'll talk to you, but I hope some of you um, benefit from my babbling here. So, I don't know. Here in Chicago, it's 11:12 a.m. on November the 7th. So, wherever you are in the world, enjoy your day, evening, whatever it is, or night. And I hope to talk to you again soon. All right, goodbye, and God bless all of you, please.